Is subsidy removal the best thing to happen to Nigeria? Well, let's find out more as we hit the news. But if you're joining us for the first time, you're very much welcome. I sincerely appreciate your presence. Kindly subscribe and please don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Thank you. Guys, the chairman of the Senate Committee on Finance, Sani said President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's economic reforms, especially the floating of the naira and the removal of fuel subsidies, were the best things to happen to Nigeria. We recall that during Tinubu's inauguration and assumption of office in May 29, 2023, President Tinubu ended the long-standing fuel subsidy that cost the government billions of dollars a year and also floated the currency in a bid to draw more investment. But I must say, this fuel subsidy removal by President Tinubu came as a surprise to many because of the political risks associated with subsidy removal. Other administrations, previous administrations, the Jonathan administration, were scared of removing this subsidy. Yes, Jonathan tried removing fuel subsidy, but the likes of Tinubu and other persons protested against Jonathan, and he had no option than to bring it back. So previous administrations, even before Jonathan, were quite reluctant in removing the subsidy. And this subsidy has been in place for a very long time, where the government sold petrol to Nigerians at a price below cost. Although some persons were not aware of this, but then, at this point, the fuel subsidy became very, very controversial in the sense that some persons, like the elite classes, were said to have been benefiting more than the ordinary masses, than the common class people in this fuel subsidy. That the elite class were the ones benefiting more. So many people were criticizing the fuel subsidy, that some persons were benefiting more than other persons because they could afford to buy the fuel price at the market with the subsidized rate. Even if they had lots of money, they were still buying it with normal average Nigerians, with the price normal average Nigerians were buying. And this fuel subsidy also had its own controversy, in the sense that fuel subsidy in Nigeria were notorious for their drafts, because billions of dollars, for their fraud, because billions of dollars were said to have been lost through corrupt practices in the payment of fuel subsidy. So many funds were diverted, billions of naira were diverted during the payment of fuel subsidy. Those monies till date are unaccounted for. So there were some corruption deeds inside the fuel subsidy payment. So there have been talks about removing the fuel subsidy. So many persons were calling for the removal of the fuel subsidy. Some leaders were saying, oh, if I come into power, I will remove fuel subsidy. Some economists had also gave analysis that fuel subsidy has to go. But then last year, when Tinubu removed the fuel subsidy, many questions were being raised. And in a public opinion poll conducted, about 80% of Nigerians were quite dissatisfied with the manner in which the fuel subsidy was removed. So many persons were quite displeased in the manner which Tinubu removed the fuel subsidy, because there was no backup plans. There were no backup plans at all. The president just came, made an announcement, and that is it. Nothing for Nigerians to fall back on. So according to government officials, this reform of the president was needed to revive the country's economy, and investors have applauded the moves, but Nigerians are struggling with the tripled fuel prices and the inflation at 25%. However, Senator Sani, while speaking on Channels Television's Politics Today, noted that the removal of the fuel subsidy, that's the removal of subsidy on petroleum products, was the best thing to happen to Nigeria. That Nigerians are reflecting negatively on this removal of the fuel subsidy. That Nigerians are yet to reflect positively on this subsidy removal, that what this government is doing by virtue of the fact that yes, they removed the subsidy, is the best thing that has ever happened to this country. Now, this senator who represents Niger East District in the National Assembly argued that the Federation's Account Allocation Committee disburses enough funds to states on a monthly basis. He, however, blamed some states for not making good use of the allocation to address some major issues in their state. So according to him, Tinubu's policies is the best. Tinubu did not make any wrong decision in removing fuel subsidy. Tinubu made the perfect decision. He took a very bold step in removing this fuel subsidy. But then this Tinubu's administration could have chosen, from different mechanisms to minimize the negative impact of fuel subsidy. But yet, they insisted on sharing palliative to Nigerians. They could have chosen at least from various mechanisms like subsidizing transportation costs, subsidizing other, petroleum products, but everything is centered on the price of fuel. Everything is centered on the price of fuel, like subsidizing food items for Nigerians. The federal government did nothing about it. So my country people, Nigerians are feeling the burden. Nigerians are feeling the burden. The president, when he removed this subsidy, he did not, use like a price adjustment mechanism. At this point, every day the NNPC keeps on increasing price of fuel. The federal government is yet to say to make a statement concerning the increments, the galloping increment of fuel prices in Nigeria. The federal government will say they have nothing, they don't know anything about it. It is in the hands of the NNPC. The NNPC will say, oh, it is in the hands of the federal government. At this point, Nigeria, is just in a deep mess, because the federal government is not concerned about the galloping prices of the fuel and petroleum products in Nigeria. So my country people, some persons, however, amidst all this, crisis and inflation and the backwardness of this nation, insist that yes, subsidy is the best thing that Tinubu has ever done. Personally, I feel Tinubu really made a hasty decision in removing the fuel subsidy. He would have implemented some policies. He would have made things, he would have prepared, like a backup plan for Nigerians. But he did not do any of that. It was after he removed the fuel subsidy, he now started introducing palliative, stuffs for Nigerians. How is it going to help? It has not helped us in any way. Now look at the national grid is collapsing on a daily basis. The national grid is collapsing. The prices of fuel on a high side. We don't have fuel. We don't have light. What do we have in Nigeria? Yet some persons are praising the policies of this Tinubu's administration. Well, all I can say is that this fuel subsidy removal has negatively, affected our economy rather than positively affecting our economy. I'm dropping here. Kindly share your thoughts on this in the comments section. Thank you.